Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be for you, and welcome back to another super detailed walkthrough, talk through. And this one is on Livonia, as promised. The first DLC that was ever released by Bohemia for DayZ, the second map, if you like. My personal favourite. And just for clarity, we're recording this on the 26th of February, 2025. So a day after the 1.27 patch went live. So coincidentally, we might be able to see a couple of the new changes that were added across the board with patch 1.27. A lot of the map changes, well, the only map changes were actually made to the Sakal Frostline DLC map. But a lot of the other changes, like the inventory space on backpacks, the way that you now fix your clothing, stab vests, etc., dig up worms, we might see some changes. You might be new to DayZ and you've played 0 hours, or you might have hundreds and hundreds of hours on Chernarus and you've never bothered playing Livonia before. So we're going to assume that you're new to Livonia. I'm just going to talk through every decision I make. And we're going to just see how far we can take this character. It's given us the old man. Avatar. Hotkey our bandage where we usually have it, and as you would do on any life, let me just turn down the graphics. For some reason, every time I load in now it goes to extreme. Doesn't matter how many times I change it. We don't need extreme. You're going to spin around, and if you're new to Livonia, why not bring up Eyes of Ive? You know, we're not going to be snobs. If you need to check out Eyes of Ive to figure out where you are, pull that map up on a separate device, like we talked about in Chernarus, and I will bring up the Eyes of Ive map at the end of the episode to show you exactly where I spawned and where we ended up. Now, just by spinning around and knowing the Livonia map very well, I can see the prison up on the hill in the distance. That tells me that this town is Gliniska. Okay, now Gliniska is sort of northwest on the map. If you go quite far northwest, if you're playing along now and you want to bring up Eyes of Ive on another device as you're watching this playthrough, if you go to the northwest and find the town of Topolin and then go east from Topolin, you'll find Gliniska along the river. Now, the good thing to note about Livonia is across the north, there is a river that runs from east to west. And you can, if you follow that river, it's a good way of getting from town to town. Obviously, it's your prime resource for fishing. If you see this clock tower as well, that's going to tell you that the prison is the biggest giveaway, though, Gliniska. If you see the prison up on the hill, you know where you are. Happy days. There are a few points of interest you want to probably check out in Gliniska. There are 2 wells. There is a medical centre, but there aren't any actual PDs or fire departments. So if you're hoping on getting a gun, for example, you're gonna probably find it in a building. Is this the Dean Hall zombie? I think it is. My God, I've not seen this zombie for a long, long time. Dean Hall. Tell me if I'm wrong in chat. Comments, sorry. Dean Hall, the creator of DayZ? And I'm pretty sure they put a rare nod to Dean Hall, who I don't think works at Bohemia Interactive anymore, but they put his own sort of avatar in as one of the undead. I'm pretty sure in 3,500 hours on the game plus, probably closer to 4,000 now, I've never seen that zombie before. I must have. Surely I'm tripping. So as I know the town, I know where I'm heading, but let's just... Oh, look at this. Found a sporter with some rounds in it already. 6 rounds in a sporter. That's okay. That's something. Better than nothing. We'll take the hat just to cover the noggin, but this is currently, you know, a summer map. We're not going to really have to worry too much about insulation. But if you were new and you spawned in, you saw the prison, you thought, oh, okay, I know the prison. I found it on Eyes of Ive. I know we're in Gliniska. You've got 2 wells. You can head to the medical. And there's a well outside, pretty dangerous, or there's one up at the top end of town. So I'm moving away from the river. I'm going north now. And we're hugging these dirt roads because we might find ourselves a small stone we can then craft into a stone knife. Happy days. We may have spawned that in because we were stood in the field for quite a while talking, or another player might be in the vicinity. So we're always on alert. This is a spawn town. We're up north. The way the loot works in Livonia is you spawn in the north. So that's sort of tier 1 loot. And the further south you go, the juicier the loot. Until you eventually, if you're lucky, you end up in the fabled Livonia underground bunker, which you need a punch card to get into. You can find those punch cards on convoys, military convoys, that can spawn all over the map. And you can find those spawn points by using DayZ if you want to get your character geared up and go around the map looking for them specifically. But I'm now concentrating on food and drink, clothing. Can we get a gun? We've got a gun already. We've already had a soda off Dean Hall. Thank you very much, Dean. But that's why I'm looting a bit more thoroughly than I would normally. There we go, food, dog food, beautiful. As long as you eat it quite slowly, eat it in thirds, and allow your arrows to go down on your food before you take another bite, you won't get sick. So we've had a great start, to be honest. I'm already in my mind thinking, where could I go after Gliniska? I think it would be rude not to go to the prison to show you the potential loot up there. Dangerous place, though. More rounds for the sporter, and if you can find a compass on Livonia, I would suggest you pick it up. Even somebody who's very, very used to the map, like myself, can get lost on Livonia, because as the further south you go, it becomes more desolate, and there are less towns. You end up in the middle of the woods, basically. So a compass to show which direction you go in. You might have DayZ and think, I need to go southwest if I want to head towards Nadbor, if I want to head towards the bunker. And we'll bring up DayZ in a second. We won't wait until the end of the episode because we found some food, and I know my character's not going to starve or dehydrate to death. We'll get into a safe position, and I'll give you a little look of the map. Sharpening stone is fantastic. Radiator we don't need. I'm looking for a melee weapon. That's what we're missing at the moment. A blade, which we can use to cut up rags, to fillet animals, defend ourselves against Zeds or players, although we've got the gun for players. The fact that the gun itself is pristine, but the magazine is damaged, means that there is a chance it will jam on us before we can expend every round. So we've got to be wary of that. Always get in the habit of emptying your water bottles or glass bottles when you find them. Always assume, and you'd be quite right to assume, any water found in a bottle will be dirty water. So get in the habit of scrolling down, if you're on PC, to change it from drink to empty. Get that water out of the bottle. It's at 0%, ready to fill with clear water as soon as you find the well. Now, if you follow the main road, you will eventually find the well. It's on the right-hand side as we look. But I'm keeping my head on a swivel, just in case we see any players. Can you in the distance see that gas? Green gas? Toxic gas? There's an airfield up there. Some people call it Gliniska Airfield, Lacau Airfield. It's permanently gassed on most servers. On official servers it will be, and most other servers. And you need full NBC to go in there and grab all the fat loot. There's a very good chance of you finding a punch card for the bunker. So if you can do an NBC run, that might be an idea. Maybe we try and do that with this character. It depends what we get from the gods, if you like. Maybe we don't go to the prison. Maybe we just go to all the medical areas in the north and see what we can get. Let's have a look. Let's see. Let's see what it presents to us. Let me shut this door, right? I'm going to eat some of this dog food so that our arrows are going up. We want to be in the white for water, food, temperature, blood, and health at all times if possible. That will help you fight off, or it will keep your immune system high enough so that your character doesn't get sick. Alright? use the spacebar to rotate items if you're on PC to make them fit easier or where you want them to fit in the inventory. A longhorn would be nice, or a blaze. Now we've got some 308. We can make a knife. Got the compass. This orienteering compass. It's not my favorite one. I prefer the gold one, to be honest. It's damaged, so it's very difficult to see in this light. Well, there you go. So anyway, the red dial will always point north. So we know now we're facing north. Reasonably easy to use. Better than having nothing. I prefer the gold one myself, though. As long as it's not damaged and the screen is all scratched up. There you go. We're all in the white. So I'm going to put the Be Right Back screen on for you. I'm going to switch over to the I Survive application to show you where we spawned. So I'm sharing my screen with you now. Now, where is it? There's Topolin. I told you, the biggest, probably one of the biggest cities in the north. It is the biggest city in the north. If I scroll out of the map, you can see we're not quite north. Some of the most northerly spawns you can have is Lukau, Brenner, Olenbrody, Grabin, Tarnow, Sabotka. Now there's Gliniska, and there's the gassed airfield that I described. We could just about see the gas in the distance. So with the prison being here, this is the prison on the top of the mountain that we saw. And notice how this river runs right across the north of the map. From west to east, east to west. If you find the river and you decide to go, east or west along it, you'll eventually hit a town. Okay? Which probably has a well, food, all the good stuff. But we spawned pretty much here in the field. It might have been this spawn point or this spawn point. I think it was this one, actually. Don't quote me. I think it was this one. And so far, we've made our way up here along the main road. And we're in the pub. Pretty much. This pub, sorry. There's the pub symbol. So we're in this pub. We're right next to the well. And you've got a couple of choices. You can either follow the river, if you like, looting up along the way. There are some guard shacks and police things you might want to search here. There's a hunting stand by here. You can make your way to Brenner, which has got a police station, and another medical. There's the medical symbol. Or you can do what we are probably going to do and say, well, look, we're really close to the prison. There's a good chance of getting some good loot. And when you're at the prison, if you continue southwest, you get to another military compound, Nidek. Now from there, notice how there's not a lot of lakes, rivers, water supplies once you leave the comfort blanket of the northern river. If we scan out, this is probably quite difficult for you guys to see. But there you go. Look at that. In little pockets, you get little ponds, lakes, whatever you want to call them. See this one down here? But few and far between. See, there's one over here. So if you want to rely on fishing in Livonia, you're probably going to be staying up north. You will get used to the map and you'll get to know where there are some of these water areas around the southern towns to fish. But really, you're going to be hunting animals if you can. You're going to get yourself a rifle that will kill rabbits, foxes, deer, pigs, wolves. You get the drill. Cows. All the good stuff. The bunker. There's the biggest town in the south, Nadbor. If you go southwest from Nadbor, you get to a place called Swarog, which is a big military. Not far from Swarog is Palana, which spawns good military gear as well. And then if you move west, slightly southwest from Palana, here is where the bunker is, the underground bunker, where you need a punch card to get into. So if we scan out, you can see it's right in the southwest of the map. We've spawned up here in Gliniska. If we go to the prison and we go to Nidek, there's another permanently gassed area of Radunin. From Nidek, we would probably then want to just go almost directly south to Nadbor. And then from Nadbor, you're not far from all the goodies. But you've still got to try and find a military convoy on the way which could give you a punch card for the bunker. But that's what we would probably do. I'll give you the game screen back in a second. We haven't been attacked in the pub, which is good. And we're going to take ourselves off to the well. If we don't get a punch card, you know, I'm getting way ahead of myself here, but I wouldn't mind taking you down to the bunker in this series just to show you where it is and what it looks like. If we don't find a punch card, we're not going to be able to go in unless we kill someone there who's got one. Borrow it from them. Lend it from them. But in my mind now, I'm thinking big, long journey south. And once we leave Gleniska, there are not going to be a lot of opportunities, not a million opportunities anyway, to look for cans of food and all the good stuff you find in the towns. So we probably would like the ability to hunt. We've got the sporter, which will put an animal down eventually. It'll put a rabbit or a fox down quite quickly. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drink 2 bottles. That's a working carver there. Potentially. I wonder if it's got all its parts. That would be particularly scripted, wouldn't it? Right next to a well to fill the radiator up as well. We've seen a radiator along the way. Can you imagine? We took a car straight down to the bunker. No way of getting in there. I'm going to drink 2 bottles of water. So as long as your stomach isn't full, you won't throw up. You'll be able to keep both bottles of water down. Get fully hydrated. And we'll take 1 full bottle of water with us for the road. Somebody is patching that car up because they've put that red boot trunk door on the back of the car. Obviously, it would be blue if it were all matching. We might get shot doing this, but we're going to have a look at this car. Take a bottle of water for the road. If we see anybody and they're fully geared, hopefully we can use our 10 speech to get out of any trouble. I'm just looking. Imagine there was a spark plug next to it. What's it got in there? Nothing. It needs everything. Someone's put some clothes in the trunk for some reason, so we didn't get the scripted working car, which is a shame, but we do get some gloves, which is nice. We don't have to worry about getting bloody hands now cutting up an animal. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to backtrack slightly. So my aim is to go to the prison. We saw the prison in the top of the hill this way. We can go via the medical to get medical supplies. The medical is on the way to the prison. But let's go this way first and backtrack later, because I want to show you where we might get some nice supplies in terms of guns, hunting equipment. If you follow this road out, it's usually packed full of zombies. You can see more of the permanently gassed airfield in the distance. The gas comes quite far south of the airfield. You can skirt around it though if you wanted to go up to Lookout and right up to the northernmost point of the map. Look how much more green and luscious Livonia is compared to Chinaris. That's why I think it's my personal favourite. It's very, very close between the two. If we don't get to the prison in episode 1, we can always do it in episode 2. I'm not going to rush this. We are going to take a leather kit. It don't fit in our inventory at the moment. Desert Eagle has 357 in it, but what I'll do is I'll put it there and then we'll just carry on munching the dog food on the way. Bit of inventory Tetris. We've just eaten 2 bottles of water though, so we're only going to nibble at the food. Let our stomach die down, if you like. Catch up. We don't want to be sick and get rid of all those beautiful calories and all that hydration we've just gained. I'm scanning ahead using the middle mouse wheel button. And I can see now the zombies are starting to build up. Look how dense they are on that main road. So we're going to go away from them. There's a box of nails there if you was going to build a base. Or you could attach them to a baseball bat. Look how many there are. Yeah. We don't want to get into any trouble by going too close to that main road. So we're skirting wide left. But there's a hunting stand. Hunting shack, I would call it, this way, that I want to look at. And there is a couple of police guard shacks and a military concrete bunker that you get on Livonia. They've now added those to Sakal as well with update 1.27. But before it was only really Livonia where you would see the concrete bunkers. And hopefully I'll be able to show you one of those soon. I'm still looking for a melee weapon. There's the hunting loot stand that I told you about. It's more like farm and industrial units this way. So if you were looking for base building supplies, you'd probably hit that up. We would have already found nails, which would be huge. We're all about the exploration on these. I'm probably going to take that. It'll give us some protection to the noggin. And we've got some chlorine tabs, which on Livonia is huge. Because if we can find a water supply, like a little pond, almost a puddle of water down south, we can now fill the bottle up with dirty water and clean it with the chlorine. We don't have to find a genuine well, so that's huge. And now I'm going to just get eyes on the main road. See if there are Oh, look at that. We've stumbled across a police crash convoy. You can tell by the police zombies that are in the road. So there's some good loot there, but there are a lot of zombies. Now, we haven't even got our hands free at the moment because we've got this dog food. So what I'm going to do is creep, go into crouch mode. I'm going to get close. I'm already in my mind thinking I could get on the back of that truck and I could punch down to them. Or we can do this, right? So we're going to drop the dog food. I'm going to... If you remember, the dog food's next to that, okay? I'm talking to myself here. I want to pull this one zombie, this one, away from his friends, okay? Double tap caps lock on PC. Hello, zombie? Hello? Hello? There we go, he heard us. Over here, Zombo. I want his stab vest, so I don't want to damage the stab vest. So I'm only going to punch him in the head. I'm going to aim high, aim up to the sky almost. Don't get too close to his friends, though. Keep punching him in the head. You won't damage the vest. There we go, he drops. He's got a Pioneer magazine for us, which we're going to take and put in our temporary stash. Don't know why he picked up the dog food. And we're going to go into crouch mode, and we're going to try and do the same thing with the next Zombo. Is that a face covering? Like a shamag? Indeed it is. We don't really need it on this map, but we'll take it. These can be really fiddly to get into. There we go, we're in. I'm just going to look at the jacket. We don't need it. It's got a lot more slots, though. We're in danger of overheating, but look at it for the capacity. Even though it's battered, it gives us 24 slots compared to that shirt that only give us 9. I'm going to drag the gloves into my jacket. I don't want them being ruined any further by punching zombies in the head. We can always get on top of that car if we get in trouble and punch down on the zombies, remember. Not ideal tactic, but don't be ashamed to use it. It does put you in a precarious position in terms of being vulnerable to being shot quite easily, of course. At the minute, we're getting away with looting around, but I want to go in that building, so we're going to have to deal with these zombies. That's awful. Why have we got them spawning on this? Bro. Oh, a box of 9mm. There you go. That makes up for it. That's something. Can't believe we haven't got a melee weapon, dude. Alright, I'm gonna do this, right? I wouldn't recommend doing this. Anybody now who's got eyes on us are gonna take the easiest shot of their lives, but we're gonna do it. Hello? Aggravate one of the zombies. Here he comes. Just punch him in the head. I'm spamming left button. I'm not worried about damaging his vest because I've already got one. Just make sure you don't fall off the car. As I'm punching, I'm then stepping back. One's dead. If you had a melee weapon, if we had a blade, this would be much quicker, obviously. There we go, just put them down. Now, to be honest, when you get to this stage, you've only got one zombie on you, get off the car. and fight them normally. Because you're moving now. At least you're moving. You're making yourself a harder target to hit. Anybody sniping you, they never have loot on them. Look at that. We've got an SSG magazine with 2 rounds in it. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna forget my loot. I will go back. First, we're looting this. Duct tape. Put the gloves back on. We're gonna need that duct tape as well, and a revolver. Wow, 2 shots in the revolver. But what did we pick up earlier? The Eagle magazine. Oh yes. Oh yes. We're gonna have to play Tetris in a second. We take the 357 out of the Deagle magazine, and now we've got a fully loaded revolver. Let's put those other 4 shots in. Now, to be honest, I'm going to keep the Sporter. I want the revolver away. We don't want to be walking down the street with a revolver in our hands, looking particularly menacing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use the duct tape to fix up my clothing rather than carry it with me. Look at this new continuous motion now. You don't have to restart the animation. It will fix your gloves up from badly to worn in one swift movement. Same with the jacket, which is a nice quality of life change they added in the 1.27 update. This is a huge quality of life change, to be honest. Very annoying having to restart that animation every time. I can hear another zombie. It's an industrial zombie though, so I'm not going to kill him if I can help it. But I am searching this car because it's so close to this police building. Military building, whatever you want to call it. Checkpoint. It can spawn military police loot. Doesn't seem to be anything there today. I haven't forgot about my little stash. We're going to go back for it. Don't worry. I like checking these sheds, though. We might get ourselves a melee weapon. No, still no. There's another police guard shack here. We're going to hit that up. Now I've got a revolver, I feel a little bit more comfortable, and a stab vest. If somebody jumps us, hopefully now, with the helmet and the stab vest, we'll have a chance to at least protect ourselves, defend ourselves, and have a go back at them. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, you scared the shit out of me, bro. Sorry. How you doing?
Yes, sorry.
Ah, you're okay, man? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm just looting around, bro. See, I heard his footsteps. I spoke first, because otherwise he's going to walk into here and he's immediately going to be on the defensive. And he's got a right to be. He would probably start swinging on us. Luckily, he's only a freshie, so if we can't handle him, we deserve to die, to be honest. He's going to be very disappointed that there's not much loot here. Thank God we got here just before him. And it's very unlikely that he's going to find our stash before we go back to it. So let's go and grab our food. We haven't got any room in the stash as it goes. He's having problems with the zombies. Pick up our pioneers. I wanted to show you the military concrete bunker, didn't I? We may get some entertainment on the way now as well. I'm eating the rest of my food. There's a couple of stab vests. You might be able to use one of those stab vests. I don't think they're both ruined.
Thank you.
No worries, bro. There it is. Sorry, talking in game there. He seems alright. See that concrete post there? I think that guy would have already looted it. So it's pointless us looting it. Well, yeah, let's leave. Let's leave. We've got someone snooping around. He's got a gun on his back. It's only a little shitty Sporter, but still, he's got a gun now. You would loot that usually, though, if you felt that somebody hadn't already looted it. And I'm going to start heading towards the prison, but I want to go via the military as we eat the rest of our dog food. Now, I'm in an open field. There's a player nearby. He seems absolutely harmless, though. I'm going to sprint. We've got white water. We've got a bottle of water on us. We've got white food. We've just eaten a big can of dog food. I'm going to use that opportunity to sprint. I know it's eating away at my calories, my hydration, but we're in an open field. I don't want to make myself an easy snipe target by just walking slowly across the field with my thumb up my ass, to be honest with you. There are a couple of buildings this way that I wouldn't mind looting. There's another one of those concrete bunkers. Okay, so we can actually show you the interior of that one, while we leave Bob the Builder up to his own devices back there. But always, if you hear somebody running, like we just did, it's quite a good idea, unless you want to lay an ambush and you want to lay a trap. If you want to just have a quiet, nice, peaceful day, it's always a good idea to speak first. You know, hello? I've just heard you. I know you're there. And then, if there's no response, get yourself into fight mode. If there was a response, you can then judge, is this guy just harmless? He didn't even know we were there. Do you know what I mean? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to then load that AK ammo into the SSG mag, and it makes a space for the stone again. And I'm just going to treat myself to a camouflage helmet. What an absolute idiot we look at the moment. Look at this drip. Fantastic. There are other concrete bunkers like that one along the river, but I'm actually not going to hit them up. We haven't got the capacity anyway to take anything. So I'm going to hug the left-hand side of the church. And if you do that, it'll bring you back to the main road, which we spawned parallel to. Now, depending on your food situation, drink, we may want to carry on looting some houses in the hope of finding A, a bag, and B, maybe a can or two more of food, just for the journey, because we haven't got anything for fishing. I haven't even crafted my first knife yet, so we haven't even been able to craft rope, so that we could potentially make our own fishing rod and fish for our supper. So if I went south from here with no further preparation, loot-wise, oh, look at that. I'd basically be in the lap of the gods as to whether we survive. School backpack, not the best, better than nothing. Gives us a slot for a tool on the back, and also you can now attach things like compass to the bag. It goes on your shoulder, just saves another 2 spaces. Beautiful. I'm going to start putting some of this loot in the bag. I almost always keep things for fighting, like ammunition, guns, etc. up top. That's a good find, the bag. We got a bit of capacity now. If we find a small stone, a boulder, we can combine it with this stone to make a knife, and I know there will be stones along the river. But I'm not panicking, Skywalker, yet that we haven't found a blade. Generator and a dry sack. But we'll hit up a few sheds, just in case we can get lucky. Get a sickle, or a hatchet or something. Or a pickaxe, okay. Now you can't put that on the bag, it's too big. You could put it on your shoulder, and I tell you what, that's a really good zombie killer. He says. We're going to try it out on this zombie now. I'm checking around to make sure there are no other zombies that are going to aggro, so we're in a 2v1 fight. Allow him to see us. Allow him to scream. Get ready for a power hit. And a second one. And then hit him again with a light hit. Back up. Swing again. He didn't even get a chance to swing at us before we put him down. Not fantastic, but better than using our hands and ruining our gloves by punching the zombie. We did catch a glimpse of the medical centre. I wonder if anybody saw that. As we find a fishing jig. Badly damaged, but better than nothing. You can actually use a pickaxe to cut up rags as well. We could start making our own rope by collecting 2 stacks of 6. You know the drill. If I get it in my hand, look at the jeans, left click, craft rags. I think we've got space for 2 stacks of 6, haven't we? when we eventually get 2 stacks of 6. Stay low, because when you head towards this medical in Gleniska, be prepared for a lot of zombies. You might get yourself into a bit of trouble if you just go blasé running up the road. Just going to collect as many rags as I can along the way. See, we're yellow hunger already, so we're going to do with a bit more food, and that might come from fishing. There we go, we've got 6 and 1 already. Get up behind the zombie, power attack to the head, immediate second, then a third. Oh, she got a hit in. That was my fault. Immediately bandage. We don't want to be losing blood. We've got a disinfected bandage, so that's okay. We're not going to get a wound infection. And the zombie had some chips. Beautiful. Not quite worth taking a cut, a bleed, but better than nothing. Puts us temporarily back up to white food. Oh, and there you go. That's the jackpot, the jam. Full jam, absolute jackpot in terms of food. We want to stay in the white for food and water, blood and temperature. That will help our immune system. That will help prevent us getting sick and having to take tetracycline, vitamins, etc. So there's the medical, the blue building. And it's surrounded by zombies, as you can see. So we are going to be slightly cautious, remembering Bob the Builder might come down here now, because he might want to look for some medical supplies. But look at this. We got a zombie to the left there, zombie to the right with a bag on, a better bag actually. So I might want to start picking these zombies off one by one, so I don't get in a fight with like 10 of them. Power hit, power hit, soft hit, block, soft hit. That's how I should have done it in the house with the other zombie. Search this place while we're right outside. Pick up the 9mm. Bob the Builder, though, he may be the most passive guy in the world when he hasn't got bullets or a weapon. He might have found a shotgun since we bumped into him, and now he's going to be aggressive. You'll find that in DayZ a lot. People will be very, very kind when they're fresh as a daisy, put a gun in their hand, and their attitude soon changes when they see how much potential gear you have. Now I'm going to avoid these zombies on the main road, if I can, by staying low, hop in the fence. Remember, we've got our jam. The one on the left probably won't see us either. One there. Nurse zombie over there. There's one by here I can hear, look. So we'll take this one. Did you see how I started swinging before the zombie even got to us there? You'll get good at that. Now this, we could be in trouble in a sec. If you can time the power swing so it hits the zombie as they reach you, put that zombie down before this one. Block. Block. I can hear the aggro. Another zombie has seen me, so I want to put this one down as quick as possible. Ready to fight Dean Hall again. He's making another appearance. That's the second time we've seen him this life, and I don't think I've ever seen him before. Crazy. They must have upped the number of Dean Hall zombies. Answers in the comments below. We took a little bit of a slap in then from the zombies. If you're brand new to the game, I wouldn't entertain taking on a fight like this, to be honest. I would be trying to trap the zombies or just go around the medical. Don't even bother looting it. But because I'm quite experienced at the game, he says as he gets knocked unconscious by the zombies, I'm risking it. We've got a decent melee weapon. As long as we utilize the high, heavy hits to the head, they'll go down, hopefully, quick enough before your second zombie even reaches you. Okay? Killed a lot. But I want medical supplies before I go on an adventure in Livonia down south. Dean Hall again! What's going on? They must have increased. They must have increased the number of Dean Halls. I can hear the other zombie, so I'm putting Dean down quick as possible, because we know we got another fight on our hands. Block, aim for the head. Bit of food. Lovely jubbly, Rodney. The zombie in green, the medical zombie, has aggroed on us. There's still a ton over there. Just gonna go inside. Where there is another zombie. So now I know we've got another zombie to deal with inside. I'm coming back out to meet this zombie. To say, no, I'm taking you down. I don't want a blood test kit. Because I don't want to have to deal with you at the same time as dealing with this one inside. Missed the first shot. And the second one. What a move. Sometimes the zombies will glitch behind you. It is annoying. It's DayZ. What can you do? We're looking for like a spare bandage. An EpiPen would be nice. And on Livonia, if you can find saline with a start kit, it would be exceptional. Even with the bag we picked up, we're running a bit low on inventory space. We can do a little bit of inventory Tetris, pick up the saline. I'm not going to take the charcoal. And also that people might be thinking, why aren't you cutting up these medical garments for more rags? I just feel like a medical building is one of those buildings that will attract players for the medical loot, obviously. So if you put yourself in the compromised position of being in the animation, cutting up rags when somebody rocks up, you're going to be an easy target, right? So I'm going to look for my rags elsewhere. Plus we got the strawberry jam, don't forget, and a little bit more food off one of the other zombies. We didn't get a lot of what we wanted. Well, anything what we wanted, really. I've got a bottle of water on me already, so I'm not going to use the well, because again, I feel like I'm a sitting duck there, outside the medical, a particularly hot spot, if you like, in Gliniska. So I'm going wide. We're back to where we started, almost. We're going to have to fight a few zombies on the way. But they might drop us food or something, you never know. Hello? If the zombie is taking too long to get to you, use the VoIP. There's a rabbit around here as well. There you go. Matches. We're not desperate for the rabbit. Now I tend to, from this position, come back out into the field. Bob the Builder or any other player might be just taking the main roads, see? He might not know the map very well and is taking the main roads. They could rock up at that medical at any time. Now he's found a shotgun or a revolver like we did. And it's a different kettle of fish. I don't want to hoard my food because it's taking up space in the inventory. It's weighing me down. So I'm eating it as we go. We just hit yellow food anyway. As long as you don't overeat to the point where you're sick. And we're not gonna go to the prison this episode, but I'm gonna show you another couple of beautiful spots around Gliniska that you want to check if you can. Let's get rid of this zombie. I'm ready to hit her with the power attack, which is basically, we've done this before, right click, I'm gonna left click to swing, but if I do it with enough stamina, left click is a light attack. If I do it while I've got enough stamina whilst holding shift, it performs a power swing. And as long as you aim high, you'll hit the zombie in the head, or players, and you'll do the most amount of damage, particularly with a pickaxe. You smash a player in the head a few times with a pickaxe, they're going to know about it. Now we're going to take that flag in our hands, because it will give us the 6 remaining rags we need to make our own rope. We're not going to make an armband out of it. So we're going to scroll down once to find rags. And there's something else nice up there. And something nice there. Very nice. Very nice. Drop the single rag. Pick that one up for now. Pick that up. Didn't we have 9mm loose? Yeah. Look at that. can of unknown food. As long as you eat it slowly, like the dog food, you won't get sick. And it's going to tide us over beautifully along with the jam. Head towards the river, put the jam in our hands and start eating it. As we would like to get it down us, get all that goodness in. Gives you hydration and calories, jam. I'm not bothering looting these. I'm headed for the bridge. There you go. Just going to stop on the last sort of 10%. Make sure we're not throwing up because the full stomach symbol has just shown up on the HUD. But here's your river, okay? So if you want to go to the prison, you can either swim or you can just walk along the bridge. Another reason I come here, though, if I've got the ability to fish, which I have now, we get ourselves a long stick. We craft our rope. We use the jig. We could fish if we want to. Okay? We're not going to have to as it goes. We're just going to make our rope, though. Put the one stack of 6 in your hand. Drag the other stack of 6 across. It will give you the prompt craft rope. We're going to then put the rope in our hand, and it's going to give us an option to tie belt. We're going to hold down left button, and that's going to save some inventory space. When we eventually get a blade, we can put it on this rope belt then as well. And it goes around our waist. We can drag that down there. We're getting a little bit more organised on the food situation now. I like it. Bit worried about the first aid situation. In terms of having a revolver and having a sporter, if we were to find a Glock, I would want that already pre-full loaded. So I'm putting the 9mm in the Glock. So that worn Glock with 15 shots in it, the mag, is ready to go if we find a Glock up the prison. And I'm also going to empty out our rounds. You keep hold of the paper if you want to. You can use it for kindling. I'm not going to, though. SSG magazine badly damaged. Got AK ammo for the SSG. We got a Pioneer mag, 5.56 ammo for the Pioneer. If we find the Glock, we can suppress it as well. We've got a full revolver with 1 spare round and some 308. And obviously 14 shots in a 15-round damaged sporter mag. Better than nothing. If I were to catch a fish here, I would go under the bridge like a grumpy old troll. And I would probably put myself in the reeds and fish by here. If you had a cooking pot with a stove, happy days, with the gas canister, you can cook it here as well. Or you can just take your fish and bring it back to one of these houses on the edge of town. Probably that log cabin one there, because you've got 2 doors between you and a possible assailant. A fish thief, if you like. Another spot, you can spawn the other side of this bridge. We spawned in the field back there. There is a spawn or 2 this side of the bridge. We'll go in that general direction. There you go, another great way of finding what town you're in. If you can find the train station, it'll tell you, Gleniska. Also, we could have just checked for the road signs at the end of the main streets. I just happened to know where we were, but if you don't know where you are, you're new to Livonia, either find a road sign, then look it up on the map, or find a train station. It'll tell you very, very clearly where you are. Along this train track, there is a potential for a military train convoy spawn. It's a dynamic event. If you see military camo-coloured containers, lots of zombies, then be prepared to have a very, very juicy start on Livonia. You can get some great loot, but it's not there today. But just have a look up that stretch of train track. And I know from experience, there's a little concrete military bunker up the hill on the left. We're looking at it. And there is a hunting stand, there it is, below the prison. And that's where we're aiming at finishing part number 1. I'm going to have a 5-minute, 10-minute break IRL, and I'm going to try and record episode 2 straight off the back. So if you put in anything in the comments, why don't you do this in episode 2, XYZ, etc., etc., don't take it personal if it doesn't look like I'm listening to those comments. It's because I won't have seen them. as I'm recording episode 2 straight after. Across the soccer field, football pitch, get it right. Not many in the stands. What is this? Swansea City? Oh, dear. Come on, God. You can't say that. Hopefully you've already hit the like button. Really helps the videos and the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. Couple of generators. We've got a can of unknown food on us. We've got a bottle of water, so I'm not too fussed about saving every little calorie. So up we come. I'm pulling the revolver out now, though, because you don't know, someone might be creeping. Someone might have heard us sprint up. Remember I saw that bag on the zombie that was better than what we had? We've just found a better one anyway. So I'm swapping our stuff out. When I say better, I mean it looks better aesthetically. It's no different in terms of what it can hold, but it's not bright red. The gloves are nice, they're pristine, but you know what? I'm going to go with these ones because they're best insulation. And those are medium. And also, if you look at the environment where we are in Livonia, very green and lush. So the green gloves fit in quite nicely. Hug the tree line because the hunting stand we saw is now out of view. But you can't go very wrong. If you hug this tree line, you'll eventually get there. You can also then scan, and if you've missed the military train convoy, you'll see it from up here, a lot more clearer. You can also see if any freshies spawn in that field, because as I said, there are a couple of spawn points where you'll just spawn in and you'll be there, staring across at the train station, or a bit further up on the left, almost right next to the military train convoy, which is great. You can jump on the train carriages and punch the zombies downwards like we did back at that police crash. And eventually we'll get to this deer stand, and then in part 2 we will run up the hill. All you've got to do is follow the gradient and you'll get to the prison. But it's probably not going to be a time for talking. If there's another player at the prison, they're going to want all that juicy loot, the same as you do. So it's up to you. Do what you want to do. But don't be surprised if you try the old friendly, and you just get shot in the face. As you're going into what I would describe as a military area. And it's not really conducive to making friends. We're definitely taking this jacket. It's fantastically better in terms of the colour than our fireman jacket. And we're just going to flick up on the mouse, and it should go on. Jeez Louise. Really speaking, the red shamog is the only thing that's likely to give us away now if we're creeping in a bush. We don't need it for our insulation, so I might drop it, to be honest. Might just drop it. And we're going to call that episode 1. Like and subscribe if you're not already subbed. Let me know what you think of this Livonia run so far in the comments, although I probably won't act on anything you suggest we do in episode 2, because I'm going to film it straight after this. And we're going to go to the prison for episode 2, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.